Test, test. And we're live. Hello, Dr. Syl here. First live stream. It's all got the red button, so I guess this is happening. I've been a little bit nervous this morning. I kind of feel like I'm on a first date. Live streams are very different to recorded YouTube videos where you can edit out all the ums, the ahs, all the kind of stupid things that you say. And when I edit my own videos maybe 50% of the time. And there's a lot of editing out silly things that I say. So we'll see how the live stream goes. I want to get in the habit. I want to get good at live streams because when you watch someone live, it's more authentic, you're more connected, it deepens the kind of electronic relationship a bit. And that's kind of something I want to achieve with this channel. And it also gives you guys an opportunity to ask me questions in real time. And if there's no one who tunes in, I came prepared. I've got a series of questions that I will ask myself, just in case. But wow, we've already got people on the chat. That's so cool. So we've got August Rhines, M7KOZ7. I'm sure there's a better way to pronounce that. You let me know. I have to put my game face on. I don't really have a game face. And you just made it in time, Dizia. Hello, Leslie. I'm just going to spend a couple minutes saying hello to everyone, then we can get into some juicy questions. Colonel B, the suspense is killing me, lol. Yes, and thank you for being such an avid commenter on my videos, Colonel B. That's very, very appreciated. A lot of you guys actually comment a lot, and I do spend, it's way better for me to go through YouTube comments, which are more informed or nice or constructive, rather than scrolling mindlessly through Facebook. So I really enjoy just going through my comments and talking with you guys. Hey, Big Juan, how you going? And we got FB, Lawson Aerobic, and Henry T. Hello, and to everyone who's not in the chat and not kind of chatting, that's fine. If you just want to watch, hello, welcome. I've put on a little bit of background noise, so a little bit of lo-fi hip-hop in the background. If that's too loud, let me know. It's as soft as it can be, so we'll see how that goes. Other housekeeping, this is my first stream kind of ever, so I'm going to make mistakes. There'll be technical problems without a doubt. But so far it looks like you guys can hear me, so that's a great start. And leave, maybe after the stream, leave some feedback on what can be done better for next streams. And I say after the stream because I don't want to read feedback while I'm in the stream and I'll get nervous and so yeah, have a think about what I could do better for next time. But in terms of how I want to structure this live stream, I'll start off with just maybe giving you guys a bit more of a background on who I am, humanizing this two-dimensional thing you're seeing on your computer screens, reminding, it's nice to humanize the people you see on YouTube, to remember they're humans, because we're all humans. And tell you a bit about my story, and then ask some questions. I got some prepared, and I want you guys to answer the questions as well, so that you're humanized to me. And I'm going to be honest, these are actually questions that my friend got from a dating website. These are dating questions, but they're really interesting questions. I actually think we should start with one of them, and then we can go into a bit of background on me. And I removed all the romantic questions, but the dating questions that I like to get to know to people, they were really good. So the first one, I've written it on my whiteboard, is who are 3 people in the world or historically, famous people that you would have over for dinner? So, yes, I'm a human. So I want you guys to fill up this chat with the 3 famous people that you would invite over for dinner. And I only had a couple, I've had about an hour to think through this, and I have 2 schools of thought as to who I would have over for dinner. I feel like, on one sense, I'm quite agnostic. I don't kind of fit into a particular religion. I'm a bit skeptical, and the universe is very complicated. We don't understand it fully, and blah blah blah. But it would be pretty cool to have some of the big prophets over. That would make for some interesting conversations. So Jesus, Muhammad, That would just maybe start with those two, and we just chat it out, maybe have a sense of what their personality was like. And just kind of get to know them at a more personal level. But that's not 3 people. And if I had to pick 3 people that were alive today, I'd pick the kind of big thinkers that I like. So I really like, I like most of what Elon Musk does and his style of thinking. He's very grand. He thinks he's a long-termist. He's a nerd. It's kind of nice to see like intelligence couple with wealth. It's not just like a alpha male bully. He might be a bit of that, but it's also the fact that he's just like a first principles thinker. Like he breaks things down to first principles and like has quite philosophical and existential approaches to things. And so that's I would love to have like him over for dinner. Elon, if you're watching, I'll make you some burgers or something. And I think he would go well with Yuval Noah Harari, who's this historian who also has this kind of big thinking persona, but can complex events really nicely. And he's also a bit of he thinks about the future a lot as well. He's an author, Yuval Noah Harari. I'll just type his name into the chat. Sorry, just seeing the chat. Yes, I got to have Zach Braff over, and we got to, you know what would be good? A reaction to Scrubs with Zach. That would be good. I'd love to sit down with Zach and do a reaction to Scrubs. Although I kind of feel for him. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want him to come over and him feel like his only big accomplishment in his life was Scrubs and everyone goes back to that. So maybe we should talk more about his future. Anyway, tangent, sorry. Let's go back to the third person I'd have over. So I said Elon Musk, Yuval Noah Harari, and then the third one, I'm not too sure, but the one that came to mind before was Alain de Botton. So Alain de Botton is the founder of School of Life. He's a philosopher. I'll just show you guys these people. So this is Noah Yuval Harari. You guys should check him out. Him. So he just talks about big things in very simple ways, and you just feel smarter after listening to him for a while. The other one I said was Alain de Botton. I feel like these are the ones that you would need some background to understand. Like, you might not know who they are. You probably know who Elon Musk is. Yeah, Alain de Botton on emotional education. That is a very good video. He's a really cool philosopher because he's not too complicated and he simplifies things and he's really unromantic. Like, he kind of points out how crap we are as humans. Like, not crap, but how hard it is to be a human, and how essentially how like we have unrealistic expectations for ourselves and others, and it's all very romanticized, and that's all very unhealthy. So we should kind of take a step back and realize how flawed we all are, and be vulnerable with each other and connect, and accept each other. And so I think that's pretty good. Those are good lessons, and that's why I'm doing live streams as well. I want to be vulnerable. I will make mistakes. I'll say things I regret, whatever. I'll take them back, and you guys will forgive me, right? And anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. So let's check out what you guys said. Nelson Mandela, Sukarno, Bernie Sanders. Yes, I don't know who that is. Yes, Sukarno. Jamail Van Westering, can you give us a little bit of a 25 words or less on who Sukarno is? Colonel B, you alive? Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson for sure. Elon Musk. I feel like those two Elon Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson, that would be pretty interesting. And Jordan Peterson. I feel like Jordan Peterson and Neil deGrasse Tyson are both such big speakers that they would both be average listeners, which is... Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Jesus, Buddha, Alfred the Great. Yeah, Colonel B. So you also want to kind of see some kind of big religious leaders. I think that would be an interesting, not to judge or anything, just to kind of flesh out some ideas. Thanks, Yvonne, for saying you love my videos. I love making them. I'm going to be doing it for the rest of my life, and I really appreciate you guys all joining me early on in this awesome journey that I'm just going to have, I don't know. I love YouTube. I want to do it for the rest of my life, and you guys are joining at the early stages. I do have kind of, you know what? I don't have big plans in terms of, I don't want to have strict goals on number of subscribers in certain years. I don't want to be like, in 2 years, I want to be 1 million subscribers, although that would be lovely. I more just want to say that I'm going to continue making videos for the rest of my life on a weekly basis. That's my goal. And hopefully that is associated with positive growth in numbers, but like not to the point where it kind of is, I don't know. I feel like if you focus too much on numbers, it dehumanizes what the numbers represent, which is you guys, humans. And so I try not to think too much about numbers, but I will be doing this long term. All right. Did we get anyone else give us the 3 people that they would have over for dinner? Sukarno, first president of Indonesia. Cool. And he was very important in the development of their independence. All right, well, I might do a bit of Googling after this. Yeah, so I feel like there's only a few. Oh, we got Charlie Tidd. Okay, Benjamin Franklin, Marie Curie, and George Gershwin. Yeah, that would be a very nice dinner. Who's George Gershwin? I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys are thinking, of course, you should know who these people are. But yeah, give us 25 words or less on George Gershwin. All right, while you do that, let's go to the kind of next part of the stream. And this, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about myself and tell you guys, I guess, a bit of a background on who I am. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm in Sydney, Australia right now. And I was actually born here, but I wasn't raised here. I was raised in Canberra in the ACT, the Australian Capital Territory, which is actually the capital of Australia for all you Americans and international people who are watching, because a lot of people internationally think that Sydney is the capital of Australia. It isn't. It's Canberra, and Sydney's like, it's kind of considered a kind of better city. It's more vibrant. It's got it's by the water. It's nicer, but Canberra is actually the capital. It's actually the capital because it's halfway between Sydney and Melbourne, which are the 2 biggest cities, and they couldn't decide which one should be the capital of Australia, so they just decided on the midway point, which was Canberra. Anyway, that's how Canberra came about. And I was raised there, and my family is French, so they migrated over to Australia in the 80s. I was born in the 90s, and I went to a French-Australian school. Excuse me. And it was lovely. I had a great time. Sorry, 2 secs. You see, normally I'd edit all that out. Yeah, I really liked growing up in Canberra. It's not like the most exciting city, but what that meant was you had to form a very deep connection with the people you were with to be entertained, to have a good time. And so I had really good friends from a very early age. Like since preschool, I made very close friends with the people I went through school with, and I guess maybe because it's a smaller city, we all stayed together for like our schooling, most of us. So to this day, and I'm 27, I have friends that I met in preschool. I have 10 or maybe 10, 15 very close friends that I've known since preschool. Now I don't connect with them all every week or anything like that. I've got maybe 5 close friends that I talk to weekly. But if ever I saw them, it would be a much more like a deeper familial kind of connection. And so that's really special. And I appreciate that. And the thing that I appreciate most about my friends and friendship in general is I have a very bad memory. Like, I don't have bad memories. I have a bad memory. Like, I can't remember so much of my childhood and adolescence and my time in Canberra. I can remember facts well, though. Like, I went through med school and it wasn't too hard. Like, it wasn't like I was able to like pass all the tests and stuff because I could memorize stuff. But I don't have a good episodic memory, the memory of like what I did on my 18th birthday or that kind of stuff, like things that happened. But my friends all do, so they all remind me of beautiful memories, like funny stories that like I lived through, and I can't. And then they kind of comes back to you. Like, I don't know if you guys ever have that. Let me know. Do you have like friends that remind you of stories of yourself? And it's just such a nice feeling when you go, oh yeah, like we did. Like, I won't insert any. I won't presume any stories, but you know what I mean. Those kind of memories. So that's kind of nice. That's why I like the friendship group, and a lot of them have actually moved to Sydney. And so I went to school in Canberra, and then I did year 11 and 12 in Canberra, which is like high school in America. And then I went to Sydney for university, and I did 1 year of medical science, and I tried to get into medicine like 2 or 3 times, and failed. Couldn't get in. So I had to spend some time off of uni. So I took a year off and had to think about what I wanted to do with my life. And away I went to work. I worked full time as, actually I want to see if you guys can guess what kind of gap year job would you see me doing. I reckon unless you know the story, you won't guess what I worked as. Like, was I working as a bartender? Was I working as a removalist? Was I working as a cleaner? Was I working as a librarian? What do you guys reckon I did on my year off? Let's see what you guys say. Hey Beastie, hello from Paris, bonjour, bienvenue chez mon stream. I don't know how to say stream in French. Et oui tout le monde, je peux parler en français un peu. Je parle pas très couramment, mais je peux me tenir dans une conversation. Donc, but we'll do the rest in English. But yeah, my family's French. Anyone got any ideas what I did on my year off? Well, I worked as a junk removalist. I was a junk removalist, so I would drive junk trucks around and take people's trash away. And it was actually a really cool job because I was working with my brother-in-law and my sister, and they owned the kind of company that did that. And it was very recycling, like friendly, and we reused stuff. And lifeguard, that's good. No, I'm not that good a swimmer. I'm alright. I have very big feet, but that's about it from my swimming experience. So yeah, I worked as a junk removalist, just taking people's junk away, and it was great. I did that for 5 months and saved up a bunch of cash, and then I traveled the world kind of thing. I did my big Euro trip. So I went to England, I worked as a bartender there, I went through France to a lot of European countries, just solo with me, myself and I in a backpack. I got lost, I lost my, I got into precarious situations that I had to use my wits to get out of it. I met heaps of people. And it's very nice meeting people on Euro trips because you form a very deep connection, although transient, because you meet so many people, but you're like kind of there for the same reasons. You have a good time. You're very honest, and you learn about other people and their backgrounds and their countries and what it's like, where they're from. It opens up your eyes a little bit, and then you come back and you feel kind of either ready and refreshed, or very existential and uncertain. But I came back feeling very ready and refreshed, and I came back with the want to do medicine even stronger than before. And so then I put my head down the next year. I worked so hard for a year to get into medicine, and I did, and it was a very rewarding experience, and I'm glad that it paid off. And then I did my medical degree, and now I'm working as an intern. So I played around with startups and stuff as well back in the day, but now I'm like basically a full-time doctor, part-time YouTuber. That's how I kind of split my time. And that's my story, guys. I want you guys now to give me your life story, but you have to do it in like 200 characters or less. That's what you can fit in the chat. So I'll go through the chat after the stream and read everyone's story, but I want to kind of get to know you guys. All right. I always thought it was pronounced Canberra. Canberra. Well, I guess Aussies will kind of slur a lot, so we kind of merge all the words together. Canberra. Casey Hardison, thank you for being here, Casey. I noticed you always comment on my videos, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Cliche back, yeah. It was very cliche. But you know what? Like, people hate on cliches, but they're cliches for a reason. Like, a lot of cliches. Don't throw something away just because it's a cliche. If you feel something and you want to say it, even if it sounds cliche, just say it. I'm probably full of cliches. And yeah. August Rains, 15 years old. I sat in a small block structure and loaded clay pigeons on a trap machine while people shot over my head. Loved it. Wow. That kind of reminds me what I did. This was a way less dangerous version of that. I used to be the golf ball picker-upper when I was like 7 years old, like, barely old enough to, well, no, I could obviously walk, but I was very young, and I would just, go around picking up golf balls with my helmet on, like a baseball helmet, really, and people would just be hitting their drivers past me. I feel like that is pretty unsafe these days. Wow, Robin Williams, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla. Whoa. You know, Robin Williams, can I just share one of my favorite photos? Like, I'm not big on photography. Well, I love photography. Oh, I really appreciate photography. I don't know that much about it. But one of my favorite photos ever is this portrait of Robin Williams. Let me bring it up. Boom, bang, boom. Robin Williams. It was maybe black and white portrait. Now, Robin Williams, I should learn more about him. This is it. Wow. How do I make that like full screen? I'll just save image. I should learn more about him because he is, look at that photo. He was a remarkable man. He's a good example of how comedians on the outside can be so funny, so lovable, so approachable, and then yet on the inside have a totally different world. And like this photo, it's just spectacular. Like I don't know, to me he actually looks, you guys let me know, do you think he looks happy or sad in this photo? I can't pick his emotion. I'm not, yeah, I wish I could. It's a very striking photo. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. If you'd have him over for dinner, yeah, that would be lovely. May he rest in peace. All right, let's keep going. I love your channel. Hey, from Kenya, Stephen Guitar. Welcome, my friend, my brother from Kenya. Wow, that's great. That's very far. I'm glad you could make it. I spent 2 months in Tanzania. I didn't make it to Kenya, and that was kind of my only exposure to African countries, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. Yeah. Well, you're very welcome, mate. Okay, let's keep going with some questions. If you guys have questions you want me to answer, please ask them in the chat. I'm reading the chat while doing this, so definitely ask them. Let's go back to, what are we feeling? Zoomed out. Yeah, let's do that. All right, next question. Next question is, would I like to be famous? You guys have to answer these as well, by the way. So would you guys like to be famous? I don't want to be like very famous. I do want to have an impact that is scalable. So I want to have a positive impact on the world. I want to like share positive messages that scale so that, you know, I've spent an hour with a patient kind of counseling them and talking to them about healthy life decisions and, you know, and maybe they're very curious, like what are some strategies to stop drinking, yada, yada, yada. And we speak for an hour. And so maybe that helps them, but maybe it doesn't. But if you can put that message into a platform that is scalable and you hit thousands of people in the same amount of time, like it takes an hour to make a YouTube video and it takes an hour to talk to a patient. It's the same amount of time, but it's a scalable impact. It can affect thousands of people. And hopefully a few of those thousand, more than one at least, might be quite changed by the information you share. And there's a lot of like information out there that isn't helpful. So it's important that there are a bunch of like people trying to share important and good information to kind of balance out that whole balancing act. So that's kind of why I do this. And so do I want to be famous? Ish is the answer. I want to kind of I want to have a scalable impact. I want to also, like, I don't want to be recognized and stuff wherever I go or something like that. And I also want to maintain very like authentic relationships. And I feel like sometimes when you're famous, people want to just be friends with you because you're famous, and that's not very authentic. You know, anyway, that's my thought. What do you guys reckon? Whoa, Buttercup draws, not famous, just powerful. That is very interesting. That's a very good one-liner. Hey, Circle of Leaves, you're very welcome here. Thanks for coming. I was famous in the Netherlands, so Jamail van Westering. Did take part on reality shows, which I used to regret and was ashamed for. This was when I was 10, 11 years old, and still get recognized, but I accept it's a part of me now. That's super interesting. Like, because you wouldn't have had informed consent to do a TV show when you're 10 or 11. Your parents would have consented for you. And it's kind of interesting, like childhood actors and that, like, what's their ability to consent to these kind of things, and like, do they really want it, or is it the parents that want it? I'm not speaking specifically about you at all, by the way. I'm just saying in general, childhood acting is an interesting thing because it does change your life if you become famous as a kid. So yeah, very interesting. No fame for me, Lola. I really like my anonymity. Well, I respect your anonymity as well. That's fine. That's great. Um, what are my future plans? Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. All right, well, let's answer some of your questions. Thanks, Beast Day. My future plans. I have future plans. I also don't hold them too closely to myself. Like, if they don't plan out, I don't beat myself up. I use them as a kind of guide, and I don't hold them to too high value. My future plans, look, I have to do another year of clinical medicine, and I'm going to do that year full time, and that's my residency year. So I'm doing my internship at the moment, which is I'm working as a medical doctor, and I rotate between different medical specialties. I've done a medical specialty, a surgical specialty, a mental health specialty. I've done a relief term, and tomorrow I'm starting my emergency specialty kind of rotation, my emergency rotation, where I will work as a junior doctor in the emergency room. And so I'll be partaking in, the basic things like a broken bone or a gastroenteritis like infections, but also I'll be partaking in like resuscitations and the more intense stuff. And I'll be at a well-established Sydney hospital in a kind of big emergency room there. So that's my next term. In terms of my close future, it'll be that. I'm going to do heaps more scrubs reactions because that's done the best on my channel. I love doing them. It's a win-win. So that's my close term future. My longer term future, look, my perfect life in 5 years' time is that I've made gazillions of dollars from my cryptocurrency investments so that I can buy myself a YouTube studio and have like really good quality stuff. A lot of this stuff is secondhand and it works great and it is good quality, but I guess I have to do a lot of workarounds because I don't have the right adapters or I have to, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot. I spend a lot of time working around problems where I could, if I just like had the financial security, I would just buy the right thing for it. And so, yeah, in 5 years' time, I want to have a nice YouTube studio. I want to work part-time. I want to work part-time because, we're all going to be living till about 100, 110. We'll all be working till like we're 80 or 90. And so what's the rush, guys? Like, one of the things I want to achieve is to have a substantial YouTube channel. So if I work part-time clinically and part-time on my YouTube channel, then that would be a really nice split. Like a split between having a lot of effect on one person at a time as a doctor and having a bit of an effect on a lot of people at a time as a YouTuber. And that's a nice balancing act in my mind. And I think the specialty program I'm going to apply for is psychiatry or general practitioner. And I'm not too sure about that yet. That'll be ironed out next year. So stay tuned, guys, while I have my quarter life crisis. I don't know, is 27 too old for a quarter life crisis? Oh yes, thank you for holding me to that, Disla. Funny. May I ask a question that some may see as dark? Yeah, look, just ask anything you want. Please just be respectful. Try not to offend anyone if you can. Yeah. But ask anything you want. I'm happy to answer anything. And if I'm not happy to answer something, I'll just respectfully tell you that I can't answer that because maybe it's a privacy breach or something. Thank you, Circle of Leaves, for saying that you love my idea for a children's channel. Last night I had some big ideas for it, and I think I'm going to start it, maybe even today. I've got a couple of things to do today, but it's 11:30 a.m. in Australia, so maybe I will start it. Now, I'm gonna kind of put on a bit of a persona for my Dr Syl for Kids channel, and it's going to be called Dr Silly, I'm pretty sure, because that's my nickname that my friends call me, Silly. Since I was 5 years old, my friends would call me Silly, and it's stuck with me till now, and I'm 27 and my friends still call me Silly. But yeah, Dr Silly is going to be my kids YouTube channel, and I'm going to incorporate beatboxing and weird, eclectic, exciting, high energy information to kind of keep it entertaining and quirky. It'll be a little bit weird, but I kind of think that will work for kids. So we'll see. Anyway, I've got some ideas. I'm going to keep thinking about that. If you want a bit of a, you know what? I'm feeling a bit extroverted right now. I think I'll give you guys a bit of a beatboxing demo. I'm not very good, for the record. I'm not like a pro, but anyway, I'll just do it. All right. This is so cringe. My friends will see. All right. Yeah, there you go. Beatbox. What's my take on crypto? Vilvado. What is my take on crypto? Cryptocurrency is absolutely a part of the economy now, and will be more of a part of the economy in the next 10 years. It bypasses a lot of challenges that kind of traditional fiat currencies face. It also has its own challenges. So I don't think it's going to replace fiat, but I also think that it will be a part of the kind of world that we live in. That being said, I'm also not a financial expert in any means. I'm like a junior doctor, so don't make any investment moves based on my advice. But yeah, I've got a little bit, the way that I see my 20s is all the money that I save up, I put 50% in high risk, 50% in low risk. Then in my 30s, it'll be 25-75, 25% high risk. And as I get older, I reduce my high risk stuff. And so right now I've got like half of my savings, my investment kind of stuff, into high risk things. And that's all crypto basically. Thanks Colonel B for backing my beatboxing. Yeah, I'll practice a little bit more. I think I've answered a lot of these other questions that I had on the board. This question's weird. A secret hunch as to how I'll die. You guys answer. I want to see how you guys think you'll die. Hopefully it's not too dark, but hey, death is a part of life and we need to be able to talk about it. And you know what, if I'm very honest with you guys, I think I've seen a lot of suffering in the hospital because people haven't confronted death properly. They just avoided it, and now they're in their 70s and it's inevitable, and they haven't thought out how they want to die. And you know, there's these awful statistics that, like, I don't know, something like 80% of people want to die at home with their family, and 80% of people die in a hospital. And during COVID, when visitors had to be limited at times because of outbreaks, you know, it was a really, really dark time in the hospital, and I was working night shifts for a lot of those outbreaks, and so people were dying and there was no family around. It was just me. I was holding people's hands while they passed. It was a pretty tough time. But anyway, how do you guys think you will die? And if you can put a positive spin on it, good idea. Yeah, there is a 20-second chat delay, Dizzler. Sorry about that. It's unavoidable. Actually, it is maybe for my next chat, I'll put ultra low latency. I've put low latency, but I didn't want to kind of tempt fate. Actually, maybe it is ultra low latency. No, it's low latency. All right, so we're on low latency. It's 20 seconds, which for those of you who don't know what that means, it means that I'm speaking right now and filming, and you're seeing what I'm saying in 20 seconds time. So you don't see this in real time. So it makes the connection a little bit weaker, doesn't it? Because you guys will answer the question I'm asking now in 20 seconds time to me. So I only see your answers in like half a minute. So maybe next time I'll do ultra low latency so that we're a little bit more real time. But anyway, that's bandwidth for you. So Jeremy Gustafon from a fall. Okay. Dizzler from secondhand smoke without a doubt. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Dizzler. Like, excuse me, gassy. Secondhand smoke's awful. On the job site while on the clock. Well, maybe you got some compensation. Sorry. August Rains, what kind of job sites are you on? Are you a builder? Yeah, okay. Colonel B saying that I've encountered a lot of death. Unfortunately, I've made a lot of peace with it, though, and the best way I can explain it is that death and I have an understanding about each other. Well, that sounds like you're at a place of, I don't want to say peace, but at least a place of understanding. So that's That's something special that a lot of people might not get to. Yeah, do I have a sense of understanding with death? Look, I kind of go back to cheap one-liners whenever I feel very existential. I kind of think, well, where death is, I am not, and where I am, death is not. And death is kind of the absence of my being, so therefore why be kind of scared of it? That being said, that's a little bit cheap. It's like, well, actually, the worst part about death is not death, it's the dying process. When like this thing you've taken for granted for 70 plus years. Sorry, I always assume I live till I'm like 80 to 100 years old. But yeah, this thing that I'm taking for granted that's moving so fine and almost autonomously starts failing on me, starts not following my instructions. And then my kind of, it's all very dark. I'm happy to get dark, by the way, but it's my first stream. Let's keep it light. Oh, you guys, we're 36 minutes in. I'm going to have to go soon. I'm going to kind of keep going till about midday. So I've got another 10 to 20 minutes. I also just want to take a second to say there's like 27 of you watching, and I want to thank all of you. That is fantastic. That's so awesome that 27 people in the world want to hang out with me, and we haven't even met. So that's really special. I'm like honored that you guys want to hang out with me. That's great. And I want you guys also to think about what I can do in my next live streams. I want to do more like paint. I want to do art live streams where we paint and hang out. You guys can send me YouTube videos to react to. We can do one now, actually. If anyone has like a interesting video they want me to chuck up, we can put it up on YouTube and have a watch and a talk about it. The world is our oyster. Charlie Tidd thinks they're going to die from heart disease. Oh, yeah. Get checked up by a doctor. Get your cholesterol levels checked. You might need a statin. You might need your blood pressure controlled. But the most important thing is lifestyle. Exercise, get that heart pumping, and sleeping really well. Very important. Cool. Whoa, Dizzler, 1 a.m. in the morning. Thank you for cruising with me. You should go to bed soon though, mate, because sleep is very important. And 1 a.m. is too late, unless you're like a night owl or have sleep phase. Oh, what's that disease called? It's like sleep phase shift disorder. Let's look this up. Whenever I can't remember the name of something, I try and look it up so that I remember it. There's a disorder where your day-night circadian rhythm is just genetically reversed. Sleep phase shift disorder. I think it's something along those lines. Okay, delayed sleep-wake phase disorder. Oh, I'm not going to remember that. Anyway, unless you have that, you should go to bed soon. All right, do you guys have any other questions? Let's keep these questions going. These are good. Otherwise, I can. This is my background music. Sorry. Otherwise, I can type in the questions it's like 36 questions dating, something like that. That lead to love. That's it. Yeah, these are the questions that my friend sent me to answer in my first live stream. Can you guys see that all right? Let me zoom in. No, that's too much. All right, let's go through some more questions then. Let's see what we got here. By the way, I'm keen on feedback on how the stream is set up. Like, does the microphone sound good? Is the image good? Are you guys seeing this in 1080p? Yeah, let me know how that all goes. All right. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, and the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? You know what? Maybe just like what the price of Bitcoin will be in like 10 years. That would just like, I'm not too upset. Look, I don't want to be too obsessed with money, but like I'm at that age, 27, where I'm trying to just financially set myself up. Like trying to get a house, and at the moment I'm renting, and I just want to kind of secure that out. That's other than that, I have a very fulfilling love life and friendships and like a work that I'm enjoying, and YouTube that's so much fun. Like those kind of things I'm just really happy with. So the only other thing that's kind of like my main source of stress is just getting to a point of financial comfort. And I'm not uncomfortable by any means, and Like I don't feel sorry for myself at all. But it's just something that's on my mind, so that's why my brain goes to that. What would you guys want to know? What do you guys want to find out if you had a crystal ball? Yes, Disla. Yeah, that's right. Make your own future, mate. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? This live stream. I don't know if I said this before, but I have been putting this off for a very long time, for like at least 4 months. And most weekends over the past 4 months, I've been like, this is the weekend I'm going live. And I just haven't done it because I was scared. But actually, I'm really glad I have. And I've got 31 bloody amazing human beings watching. So I'm feeling really good about it. And I'm going to be trying to do this weekly. I wish I could do it at the same time every week so that it made things really simple for you guys. I can't, because with emergency medicine, which I'm starting tomorrow, the shifts are very haphazard. So I can't just have Sundays off to do this. So I'm very sorry about that. But the second that I'm done with ED, I then will try and have a regular kind of live stream time where we can just hang out, ask questions, do some art together, and maybe do some reactions to YouTube videos together, or whatever. So that's something that I've been dreaming of for a while. I guess since I've done this, the other thing I've been dreaming of is starting a Dr Syl for Kids channel. And I think I wanted to do another channel about something. I also have a very good idea for a dating app where, I shouldn't reveal too much about it, but anyway, if you make it, just credit me down the line, where it's a dating app where you play games together first, and that leads to whether you match or not. During the game, you're live streaming and chatting, and you're straight into video calls. There's no messaging. It's just TikTok interface, and you go to the next video call, and like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're live, and it's way more work than other dating apps. But all the other dating apps seem to be pretty disingenuous. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about dating apps, even though I have a girlfriend, it's because I live with a guy who has been on dating apps during COVID, and it has been a tough time. Like, dating during COVID just sucks. So that's why we thought about it. In fact, this whiteboard, hang on, this whiteboard we bought on the night that we came up with the dating app idea. We were like, let's build an app. And we're like, how do you build an app? Step 1, get a whiteboard and just start drawing it out. So we bought this whiteboard for $120, and it came like a week later, and by the time it arrived, we kind of had given up on the idea of the app. So it just sat in the corridor for ages, and it's just been sitting around. But now I really like it. I write up my to-do list, and these are all like different video ideas at the top. You can't really see because it's not in focus. So I like using the whiteboard, but it doesn't live there. I just bring it in for videos. Hey, another thing I'd like to know some feedback on is, am I speaking too quickly? It's very normal to speak too quickly when you do something like this, like a live stream. So I'm sorry if I am. Maybe over time I'll slow down. But yeah, let me know. All right, let's get back to the questions. Actually, I kind of want to see your answers as well, guys. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time but haven't done it, and why? Cool. So Colonel B wanted to do, I'm not 100% yet, but interested in making video games or perhaps doing some sort of educational content, but not sure about what yet. So if you're thinking of a YouTube channel, just do it, because you need to, you have to start now if you want it to be good in a year's time. Like, whenever you start YouTube, no one watches your stuff for like a year. So be sure that you start now. If you're thinking of making a game, that's awesome as well. You should probably make some crappy games first to get the skills. I'm all about trial by error. Like, my philosophy is make mistakes quickly. So, I started this YouTube, I made heaps of crappy videos. The first 20 videos no one watched, and then they started getting a little bit better. And still now, like, my videos aren't very high level quality production, which makes them a little bit more authentic, I think. But once this YouTube channel has the finances to support an editor, then I'll hire an editor to make my videos just minty fresh. And yeah, cool. So let's everything looks and sounds good except video and sound are way out of sync. Oh, are they? Very interesting. I know how to fix that, but I can't do it during the stream. Damn, sorry guys. This whole time I've been out of sync. That's so annoying. I even checked it, but I didn't. Yeah, I checked it on the wrong. I didn't check it on YouTube. All right, lesson learned. That's all my questions. So let's keep going to these questions. Let's do 3 more questions and then we can say goodbye. All right, 3 more questions, guys. Let's do it. This is a good question. What do you value most in a friendship? What do I value most? You know, this makes me realize that different friendships serve different roles. So I have certain friends that I can play video games with and others that I couldn't. And that's something that I really enjoy doing with those friends. I have other friends that I can just kind of express my deepest, darkest, most embarrassing thoughts to. And others that I'd probably be a bit more reserved saying that. And then I have other friends that I maybe can do exercise with or something. Like different friends have kind of different roles. So the thing that I guess the thing that I want most out of a friend is honesty. That I want them to have a lot of honesty with themselves and with me. I think maybe honesty. That's such a hard question. I don't like questions that are like, what's the most important thing? Or, like, what are some important values in friendship? That's a good question. So things like honesty, authenticity, mutual interests, like ability to have discussions without shaming, or like the ability to listen to ideas that they don't agree with. That's a very nice skill to have, because that's when you really understand where people are coming from. It's something I try and do. Like if I'm speaking with someone who might have what I think are racist ideas, I don't try and like shame them or anything. I try and like get to the bottom of it, because we are all the way we are because of reasons that are beyond our control. Things like genetics and things like the environment we were raised in, both of which you don't control. They shape your identity. So I don't really blame anyone for anything. Bit weird, isn't it? Anyway, that's all right. That's the third question. Now let's go for the second last question. I don't want to say what my most terrible memory is, because it'd probably be dark, but nothing jumps to mind. What do you value most in friendship, and what does friendship mean to you? That's the exact same question in different words. What roles do love and affection play in your life? We could do better. What do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Oh, very positive. I won't go into my parental relationships for all the Freudians out there, and out of respect for my parents. That's a private arena, but that's a funny question. You guys let me know if any of these questions jump out for you guys. Tell your partner something that you like about them already. Interesting. This was obviously made for a date, but I feel like I can do it with you guys, because you guys are my partner in YouTube. It is a bit of a partnership what we have. Like I make the videos and you guys engage with them, and so we have this kind of connection that we're kind of, it's a type of relationship. I think they call them parasocial relationships. And things that I like about them. Look, this might be cringe, but I really like that you guys say nice things about my videos. It's nice to read nice comments. I won't lie. I wish I would say something more like, I love the constructive criticism, but the truth is I love reading nice things about myself. It validates what I'm doing. And I am a subject to kind of social pressures, just like you are, and just like everyone is, whether you admit it or not. Maybe not everyone, but most people. And so I do like that you guys are very generous with kind comments, but you also give me feedback. Like I did a video that had really bad sound mixing, because I've got these $20, I can't bring them into frame. I got these $20 speakers that don't give you a very true representation of what the soundscape of my videos are. So I have to from now on, I'll use my headphones, which are a bit better. But you guys gave me that feedback, and there was no animosity with it. So that was really nice. But yeah, keep commenting, guys. I love comments. I'm a big fan of comments. Last question. I hope we're all ready. Let's keep going. This is something I've been thinking a lot about recently. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? Because there was the Dave Chappelle thing with and the kind of LGBTQI community and the jokes he was making. There was a lot of tension there. And then there's like people like Jerry Seinfeld who would say like you can joke about anything, like anything can be funny. It's comedians' role to joke about it. I don't know enough to make a comment on this. And I don't have too strong an opinion on it because it's really complicated. On one hand, I don't think people should be, I feel like we should try not to offend each other. But on the other hand, some things that are true offend some people that don't believe in the truth. So you have to offend them to kind of, to transmit true information. And just to take an extreme example, but there's way more subtle examples, but like people who think the earth is flat, like you need to be able to talk about the fact that the earth is a sphere, especially if you're planning trips to Mars and stuff, even if that offends some people. So offense can't be like the only reason that something isn't talked about or joked about as well. But yeah, it's really complicated. I'm not too sure about that one. I'll have more to think about it. Let's get a better last question. Ooh, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how you guys might handle it. Also ask your partner to reflect. Oh, wow. Okay, let me see. I'll see if I can find a personal problem to share with you guys. Look, nothing jumps up really quickly. So life is pretty good if nothing's jumping up this quickly. I mean, I want a bigger house. I want a room for my studio. That's my big life goal at the moment. Okay, no, that's not really personal. Anyway, a problem that we're having is our balcony is too windy, so our plants aren't growing. So if you guys have any solutions on how to fix windy balconies, please share it in the comments. Anyway, that's all I've got. Guys, thank you so much. Let me see. There's probably all 22 of you. Thank you all so much for staying till the end. I am just like so appreciative. And I hope that we can stay connected for the length of my YouTube career, and I wish you all an absolutely wonderful day. That's all for this video. And yeah, no, to all the people who are commenting on all my videos, thank you so much for that. Please keep it up, and I'll keep making videos. Please, leave some comments of some videos you want to see and some feedback on the stream. The main feedback I've gotten is the delay with audio visuals, which I will fix as soon as this is over, so that